In the headlines, troops recover valuable assets in Timbuktu Triangle, rescue women, children. EFCC to arraign Emefiele on fresh charges. FAN reopens Lagos Airport runway after Dana Air incident. Away from Nigeria, first drops of oil arrive at Zeme-Krake Niger-Benin pipeline. Welcome to the news update on Trust Television at this hour. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for joining us. And now the news in full. The sustained offensive operation by troops of the Nigerian army to clear terrorist enclaves in the Timbuktu Triangle, cutting across Borno and Yobe states, has led to the successful recovery of valuable assets and the rescuing of women and children held in captivity by the terrorists. The terrorists who abandoned their enclaves and fled following fierce air artillery bombardments and ground battle left behind Mowag armed personnel carrier, a canter truck and a tractor. Additionally, 44 civilians, including women and children who had been held in captive in the area, were rescued by the courageous troops. The rescued women and children were provided with immediate relief, including new clothing to give them a sense of comfort and dignity as they begin their journey to freedom. Still on security matters, troops of Sector 1 Multinational Joint Task Force located in Mora, Cameroon, have neutralized 3 Boko Haram terrorists in 2 separate operations at Zig and Suram on 15 and 22 April 2024, respectively. According to the Chief Military Public Information Officer, Lieutenant Colonel Abubakar Abdullahi, the initial engagement occurred in Cameroon border community of Zig on 15 April 2024, where an ambush by the MNJTF troops resulted in the elimination of 1 terrorist. The troops continued their operation on 22 April 2024 during an early morning encounter near the Cameroon-Nigerian border in Suram. MNJTF troops neutralized an additional 2 Boko Haram terrorists. The MNJTF continues to appreciate the support and information provided by local communities, which have been assisting in these successes. Meanwhile, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has filed a fresh charge at the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, against the embattled former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. EFCC in the charge accused Emefiele of approving the printing of 684 million naira, 590,000 at the rate of 18.96 billion naira. According to the charge, EFCC alleged that Emefiele broke the law with intent to harm the public during his implementation of the Naira swap policy of the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari. The anti-graft agency also accused Emefiele of unlawfully approving the withdrawal of 124.8 billion naira from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation. The Lagos State Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Court on Tuesday convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment a 32-year-old software engineer, Chukwudi Anyao, who had unlawful sexual intercourse with his neighbor's 13-year-old daughter on May 27, 2021. According to the prosecution, the convict committed the offense on Children's Day on Thermas Animashan Street, Aguda, Surulere, Lagos State. Justice Rahman OSI, who sentenced the defendant, held on house that the prosecution was able to prove the ingredient of defilement of a minor against Anyao. Justice Oshodi disregarded the testimonies of 2 police officers, ASP Iyabo Dawodu and Inspector Rebecca Osola Jacob, who were called by the prosecution, saying they gave evidence for the defense instead of the prosecution, which showed that their testimonies were tainted. Still in Lagos State, The Court of Appeal, Lagos Division, has reserved judgment in the appeal filed by a Nollywood actor, Olanrewaju James, alias Baba Ijesha, challenging his conviction by a Lagos State High Court. Baba Ijesha was on July 14, 2022, convicted of sexual assault of a minor. Justice Oluwatoyin Taiwo, retired, of the Ikeja Domestic Violence and Sexual Offences Court, sentenced him to 5 years imprisonment. On Tuesday, a 3-man panel of the Appellate Court, led by Justice Folashade Ojo, heard Baba Ijesha's appeal against his conviction and reserved judgment to a date to be communicated to the parties. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission may prosecute 300 forex racketeers trading on a peer-to-peer platform outside the financial regulations. The EFCC chairman, Ola Olukoyede, who gave this indication during an interactive program with editors and bureau chiefs in Abuja on Tuesday, revealed that the accounts were frozen following a court order on Monday. He disclosed that one of the accounts traded over $15 billion in the past year. Highlighting the measures being taken to protect the naira and stimulate the economy, Olukoyede explained that the forex accounts were frozen to ensure the safety of the foreign exchange market and protect the economy. He stated that the efforts had helped the value of the naira and the forex market. He pointed out that the Commission needed the support of Nigerians to succeed, as he emphasized that if the agency failed, Nigeria failed. Meanwhile, the force public relations officer, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, has ordered the arrest of officers caught on video bashing a driver's car. Adejobi, who condemned the incident, called for immediate action to identify and invite the officers involved. An ex-user who shared the video gave it a caption that seemed to bring the police to disrepute. The ex-user alleged that the Nigerian police is the most unprofessional in the entire solar system. Reacting to the video, Olumuyiwa condemned the video in totality, adding that the behavior was unholy. The redeployed Rivers State Commissioner for Justice and the Attorney General of the state, Zakakos Adango, has rejected his redeployment from the office of the Commissioner of Justice to that of special duties in the office of the Governor, and consequently resigned from the administration of Siminalai Fubara. Adango, in his letter of resignation dated 24th April 2024 and addressed to the Secretary to Rivers State Government, Tami Danagogo, said he is no longer willing to continue to serve in the administration in any capacity. He said the Governor had in the past couple of weeks willfully interfered with the performance of his duties as Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice by directing him not to defend, oppose, or appear in suits instituted against the Attorney General and Government of Rivers State by persons he said were admittedly hired and sponsored by the Government of Rivers State. He said that having served as a cabinet member of Rivers State government in the past 5 years, he has no option other than to resign and save his reputation. Governor Fubara had on Tuesday carried out a minor reshuffle of his administration, with the Attorney General of the state and Commissioner for Finance redeployed to special duties and employment and economic generation ministries, respectively. The Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria has announced the reopening of Runway 18L36R at Murtala Mohammed Airport in Lagos, following a temporary closure caused by a Dana airplane skidding off the runway on Tuesday. This was disclosed in a press release signed by the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, FAN, Obiageli Ora, on Wednesday. According to the statement, the FAN Operations Division and the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency have jointly inspected the runway surface and deemed it as safe for the resumption of operations. FAN acknowledged that the area affected by the overshoot was significantly muddy, necessitating extensive necessitating extensive cleaning efforts to restore safety. You're watching the news update on Trust Television, coming up shortly. We'll take a look at recreational hiking activity for health and wellness. We'll bring you insights and details of this story and more after the break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us. But if you're just joining us, this is the news update on Trust Television. Here is a reminder of our top stories again. Troops recover valuable assets in Timbuktu Triangle, rescue women, children. EFCC to arraign Emefiele on fresh charges. And to more stories. The Kaduna State Internal Revenue Service has sealed off 6 branches of the United Bank of Africa over 14 million naira tax evasion. The seal followed the non-compliance of the management of the bank to a series of demand notices sent to them by the service. The team, led by the board secretary and legal advisor of the service, Barrister Aisha Muhammad, sealed off the branches in company of other staff of the service and security agencies. He said KADIRS, in exercise of its powers vested in it by Section 104 of the Personal Income Tax Act, is authorized by the court to collect and recover the sum of 14.3 million naira, being arrears of tax due from 2019 to 2021 from the above named agent and organization whose place of business is in Kaduna State. She said the distress cost of 250,000 naira is also owed by the bank. And to health matters, experts in hiking are calling for greater recognition of the sport by the Nigerian government as well as the sports industry as a whole. The call comes on the heels of an excursion by some hikers in Abuja, the nation's capital. Amarachi Doris has more on this.
Hiking has deep historical roots originating from ancestral traditions of traversing diverse terrains for hunting, trade, and religious purposes. Over time, these paths have evolved into recreational hiking locations driven by a growing interest in health and wellness. In Abuja, hikers recently embraced the city's abundant natural trail with over 50 hiking routes available. A diverse group of hikers, including both men and women of various ages and profession, take advantage of the available hiking routes in the FCT to embark on a 2-hour trek through scenic landscapes. Veteran hiker Biliaminu Abdusalam shared insights during the journey, discussing motivations, challenges, and the unique advantages and disadvantages of hiking in Abuja.
For me, it's a usual thing I do every Saturday. I'll speak about the good side. When you hike, it's a form of fitness, and there's these endorphins you release when you hike that just rejuvenates your body. You might get home tired, but the next day you recuperate. Next week, you'll be longing to come back to the trail. Ill side of hiking is when you give adults instruction. This is the trail. This is where you follow. This is how you go about it. This is the trail lead you listen to, and this is the sweeper. When you don't listen to such instruction and you're a novice, you might just find yourself wanting. Anything can happen. It might be a short fall. You won't feel it, but when you get home, you start treatment and it becomes something big.
First-time hiker Sandra Williams and seasoned participants highlighted the physical, mental, and social benefits of hiking, emphasizing its positive impact on overall well-being.
The experience is amazing. It's awesome. Prior to this time, I play volleyball, so it wasn't really too much of a big deal for me. I thought it was going to be way harder than this, but it was fun. I love the way my body feels right now.
Hiking is more than just an exercise. It's a holistic experience that promotes physical fitness, mental clarity, emotional well-being, and social connection. You should try it one day.
The federal government has announced the recovery of 57 billion naira from the 5.2 trillion naira liabilities owed the Federal Inland Revenue Service and other bodies by ministries, departments, and agencies of government. The Permanent Secretary, Special Duties, Federal Ministry of Finance, Kano Udo, made the disclosure on Tuesday in Enugu State. during a sensitization workshop on federal government debt recovery drive through Project Lighthouse program for Southeast Geopolitical Zone. While declaring the event open, Econom stated that the debts came to the spotlight from data aggregated from over 5,000 plus debtors across more than 93 MDAs. Represented by the ministry's Director of Special Projects, Aisha Omar, the permanent secretary said it also received refunds to the government from companies who failed to deliver on projects for which payment had been made. He disclosed that the ministry has taken steps to address this major revenue loophole through the issuance of a ministerial directive to all MDAs to aggregate all government debt across the public finance space, as well as having a single window on the credit profile of government. We'll take it away from Nigeria now. Amid frosty diplomatic relations, Benin Republic is expected to receive transit duties and tax revenues per quantity of the Nigerian oil that gushes out at Seme Krake. The projection comes as the platform where the 1,980-kilometer pipeline that connects the Agadem oil fields lands. On Sunday, Nigerian oil reportedly gushed out at Seme Krake in Benin, raising hopes for at least 2,000 jobs across the West African nation. The project, whose construction began in September 2019, has faced several delays. It was expected to last 2 years and cost over $5 billion. According to a 2019 National Petroleum Plan, the pipeline linking Kulele in Niger to the port of Seme in Benin will produce about 90,000 barrels per day. That is expected to transform the Niger into a significant regional oil producer. Still on the foreign scene, a group of Malian political parties and civil society organizations has appealed to the Supreme Court on Monday to annul the junta's ban on political activities. In a statement, the group said they are appealing to Mali's top court with the aim of annulling the decree which they consider tyrannical and oppressive. The ruling junta suspended all political parties and activities on April 10. It came following a demand made on March 31 by more than 80 political parties and civil society organizations for a return to constitutional order by holding presidential elections as soon as possible. The transitional government had promised to restore civilian rule by March 2024 after elections in February this year. However, the authorities announced in September that they would postpone elections indefinitely. And in sports news, Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen has hailed Napoli fans and admitted he will probably cry when leaving the club. Osimhen is expected to leave the former Serie A champions this summer. The Nigerian international's destination is still unknown at the moment, with the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal and Paris Saint-Germain reportedly interested in the striker. Asked to describe the Napoli fans during an interview, Osimhen simply said, extraordinary. He said the passion that Neapolitans have for their club is out of this world, adding that whether the team wins or loses, fans will always support the team. Manchester will host UFC 304 on 27 July. It will be the first sporting event to take place at the city's new Co-op Live Arena, which opens this month. No fights have been announced for the event, but one or both British champions Tom Aspinall and Leon Edwards are likely to feature. Last week, interim heavyweight champion Aspinall, 31, confirmed on social media that he would be fighting at the event. Edwards, 32, is a UFC welterweight champion who last competed in December, beating Colby Covington by unanimous decision. It will be UFC's first show in Manchester since UFC 204 8 years ago, where former British middleweight champion Michael Bisping defended his world title against American Don Henderson. The Co-op Live Arena is billed as the largest venue of its type in the UK, with a capacity of 23,500. On a side note, the Nigerian movie industry has again been thrown into mourning following the death of another veteran Nollywood actor, Zulu Adigwe. Adigwe's death was announced by a movie producer, Stanley Nwoko, in a post on his Instagram page. Mourning the actor, Nwoko wrote, "Rest in peace, good actor." Adigwe's death is coming 2 weeks after Junior Pope and 3 other Nollywood actors died in a boat accident in Annam River. The actors were said to be on their way to a location when the incident occurred. Adigwe gained recognition primarily for portraying fatherly characters in Nollywood films. And with that, we've come to the end of the news update at this hour. Remember, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream from our news programs and documentary. Thank you so much for watching. I am Aisha Salihu. Join us again.